Hello guys, so in today's video I'll be taking you through on how I drafted this Pinterest dress that I've saved for a very long time. This dress was designed by Almost, so if you want to learn how to draft it, how to sew it, please keep on watching. So to start this process, we're going to draw a straight line across pattern paper. Then after drawing a straight line across our pattern paper, we'll start by marking our shoulder points, shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement is 7.5. That is 15 inches divided by 2 is 7.5. Then I'm going to mark my upper chest. You know, this is a bustier, so it's going to have upper chest. My upper chest is 6, and upper chest is 6 inches. Then my bust point is 30. So 13 inches is my bust point. My under bust is 17 inches. My half length, that is my waist, is 19 inches plus 1 inches, which I will show you later. Then after marking it, I will start drawing a straight line across it. So like I said before, this is my upper chest line. This is my bust point line. This is my under bust line, which is 17 inches. And then my waistline, that is 19 inches. I'll show you later, so sorry it's not showing right now, but you'll still see it later. So just draw a straight line across your waistline plus 1 inches. So I'll label it, this is my chest line, or I can call it my upper chest line. This is my bust point, and this is my under bust point or bust line. And then I went over to my waist, then plus your 1 inch sewing allowance or joining allowance to the down part of the dress, because if you look at the picture you see that it has two sections, the upper part and the down part. So first of all, we'll start with our armhole measurement. So right now I am marking, like I said before, that was my shoulder line, and then my armhole is 8.5. So I'm marking my armhole, which is 8.5, and I'm going to draw a straight line across it. Then also from this armhole line, I'm also going to connect it to my shoulder line. Then from that shoulder line, I'm going to come down by just measure the length of it, which is 8.5. The half of 8.5, half of my 8.5, it's this 4.2. Then I'll come in by half inch. Then also from that shoulder point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. This is for me to get my shoulder slant. But before connecting it, my neckline is 3 inches and my neck depth is 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. Then I'm just going to connect it. But I'm just drafting. We're not going to need all these things. I'm just drafting a normal basic bodice so that you can understand it better. Then I'm going to connect my shoulder slant hat. But for this dress, we don't need all these things. But I just want to make it easy so that you understand it. Then from here, I'm going to place my armhole curve and I'm going to connect it to the shoulder point or to the shoulder line. Then I will label my armhole. This is my armhole line now. Then also I'm going to get my bust span. My bust span is 9 inches. 9 inches divided by 2 is 4.5. So I'm marking 4.5 starting from this upper chest down to my waist. So sorry that it's still not showing. Like I did not know I wasn't recording it, but just follow exactly what I'm saying. Then I'm gonna mark 4.5. That is your bust band from your upper chest to your waistline, and then draw a straight line across it. So after doing that, then on my bust points, I'm gonna come up by 1 inch up and 1 inch down. This is to help me to eliminate having a pointed bust point. So that is basically what I did here. Then from my under bust for the darts, I'm gonna go out by 2 inches by the right. Here also, I just want to explain this clip that I missed. So at the upper chest, I mark 1 inch by the right and by the left. So just mark 1 inch by the right and by the left, and then you use your armhole cuff to connect it. You see where I started connecting it from the 1 inch I went up. So I'm connecting it from this point, because if you connect it straight to the point of your bust line, you might get a pointed edge. So that is why I came up by 1 inch. Then I'm connecting it. So I'm trying to explain it. Also, the same thing with this armhole. By the same thing with the underbust. By the right, I gave 2 inches. By the left, it's 1 inches. Then I connected it up, and then also connected this side. So here, whatever measurements you marked on the other bust, put the same measurement on your under waist. That is exactly what I did. Looking at it very well, see that the same 2 inches I left by the side of my under bust and also 1 inches by the left side, I put that same measurement on the waist and that full length, and then I drew a straight line across it to have the same dart. So right now we'll start marking our horizontal measurement. So my bust circumference is 45.5 divided by 4. We're going to get 11.5. So this is me placing 11.5, drawing 11.5, then adding 2 inch sewing allowance by the side. So that is basically what I did here. Then also coming down to the on the bust, but I'm going to place it on my what? On my bust, on my waist. Yes, just go straight to the waist. Leave the under bust for now. So my waist instead 838 divided by 4 is 9.5. So this is me just placing 9.5. Neglect those darts now. Then after that, then I'll measure my darts. My darts there is 9. So I added it. So whatever you take out, add it back. So I added this 3 inches and then added the 2 inches again for the sewing allowance. So you see, that's the same thing I did on the full length. Mark my waist, which is 9.5, measured the 3 inches, added back the 3 inches, and added back my 2 inches sewing allowance. This is 3 inches and added back my 2 inches sewing allowance. I hope you understand this. I'm so sorry for not showing this clip. Then coming to my chest, my upper chest circumference is 40. So 40 divided by 2 is 10. So this is me marking my 10. Then marking my 10. Then adding 2 inches. 1 inch, 1 inch. Remember, we took out 1 inch, then adding it back. So whatever you take out, add it back. Then adding the 2 inch sewing allowance. You see? So that is how I got this line. Then you now draw a straight line. Just neglect your that bust, because even after drawing this line, if you put your tape measurement on your bust, on this bust point, you see that you still have 11.3. So that is it. So that is for the upper chest, and that is for the circumferences. Then after marking this, we're going to get, this is a bustier, so we want to get the curve. And if you look at this dress, you see that this dress is straight. Neckline is straight, so I'm going to leave it like that. But just in case you want to get a sweetheart neckline, you can just come down by 1 inch or by 1.5 inch. However, it depends on how you, if you want to show your bust or not. But for this video, for this dress, we are leaving it like this. But I'm just showing you, just in case maybe you probably want to have a sweet neckline, then you can come down by 1 inch to 2 inches depending on how much you want to show. But for the sake of this video, we're not going to touch it. We're going to leave it on a straight line like this. So what we're going to do next is to get this armhole curve. And I'm going to show you exactly how I got this armhole curve. So what I did is from this chest line, that chest line from this point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch because so that it will enable us to move our armpit, then I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Then I'm going to use my armhole curve to curve it. So please watch closely how I'm placing my armhole curve. So I'm going to start from this point and then curve it. Just watch closely. I don't know how to better explain it. It's better if you watch and see how I place my armhole curve so as to get the same thing. So now you see I turned my armhole curve around, and then from that place I marked 1 inch down. I just connected it to join my armhole. So you see it's not straight, it's curvy. I don't know. I think the best way is just for you to see how I connected. You see, it's curvy, it's not straight. So just do the exact same thing there. That is how it's gonna be. So for the bust point, we want it to have a bust dart. So what I did is from that bust point, I came down by 1 inch. So remember, if you're going to add bust points, make sure that the front pattern is longer. So as you can see now, connect it straight to that point. So for my front pattern, the full length of the top is 20 inches. That is 19 plus just this 1 inch bust dart, making it 20. But my back full length is just 19 because there is no dart for the back. So here I'm going to show you that when you close up this dart, you still get your exact waist measurement. If after closing this dart and you place your tape and you're not getting back your waist measurement, you know that there is a mistake. So after placing it, you see I'm getting my 9.5 inches, which is my waist measurement. Also for this my bust tightening, if you close it again, when you place your tape, you should get your you should get your measurements. And you see that when I close it, if I measure it, my bust circumference is 40 divided by 2 is 10. So you see that when I close it and when I place my tape, what I'll get is 10 inches. So what I'll get is 10 inches. That is it. So this is how to check it. So just in case you place it and you're not getting the same thing, you just have to retrace your step. So when I place it, you see that I'm getting my 10 inches. It is correct. Then this is my 2 inches sewing allowance. So when you cut and when you put everything together, you see that they will align together very, very well. So this is basically what I did. So what I'm going to do now, just ignore that bust point, because after cutting it, if you place your tape, if I place my tape, you see that my bust point, my bust circumference will still be 11.3 inches. So this is me just trying to cut it off carefully. So first of all, I will start with cutting off the darts, the bust darts, because I want to close up the bust dart. So I'm gonna cut off the bust dart first. So I'll just cut it through, then I'll place it on top of this one and use tape because I want to cover it. So I'll use tape and tape it together. Then I'll start cutting up this side. So this is basically what you do. Just follow the exact thing I'm doing and you will get a perfect dress. So this is me cutting it off. So after cutting it, I'll have my center front, and this is my side front. So this is, so for the front we're going to have two pieces, the center front and the side front.
You add half-inch allowance.
So when you are cutting your fabric, please make sure that you add half inch for this joining
Yes.
process. Half inch
When you're
for the
sewing
joining
it, you add
process.
half inch
That is when you
allowance
want to cut it on your
and then
fabric.
half
On
inch
this that
allowance,
area,
and
add
on the top
half
half inch
inch, please.
allowance,
And on the
half
top,
inch allowance.
add half inch. This is for the joining process. So for the back, I will be tracing out my lines, my basic bodice for my back by drawing a straight line. Then also drawing out my upper chest because this back is going to have upper chest. So my upper chest is, remember, is 6. And for the back, remember the back does not have, so our back does not have bust points and underbust. So what I'm marking here is my chest line that is starting from the shoulder line. I'll mark 6 inches, which is also same thing in the front. My bust, my chest line, upper chest line. Then after that, I'm gonna mark the waist, that is the full length, and add my half inch allowance. So I'm just gonna draw a straight line across it. So remember, our back does not have what? Under bust and bust point. So just mark your waist measurement and just add half inch joining allowance to join it to the down part of the dress. So right now for the darts, and also for this we're going to be adding our so right now I just want to create a straight line so that I'll start taking my measurements, my circumference measurements. So I'm just going to draw a straight line started from the uh shoulder line, just draw a straight line. Then I'll mark my bust span. Remember our bust span, my bust span is 9 inches, and 9 inches, my bust span is 9 inches, and 9 inches divided by 2 is 4.5. So that is what I'm gonna mark. I'm gonna mark 4.5 here, and also take it down and mark, this is just for me to get a straight line, then take it down to the waist and also mark 4.5. Then I'm going to use my ruler and connect a straight line. The reason why I'm creating this bust span is because I want to create a dart for the back, because the back has a dart. Yes. Then we're going to go back to creating our own armhole line. So I just want to trace it out so that you understand what I'm doing. So remember, my armhole is 8.5. So I'm just going to draw a straight line starting from my shoulder slant. My shoulder slant is 7.5. I'm just going to draw across straight line to get my armhole. So this is how to trace it out. This is just basically tracing it out again. And then for this tightening at the back, it's half inch, is 0.5 inch. That is basically what I did here. So for the back tightening, what I did was 0.25 at both sides. Then coming down, I did half, what I did was 1 inch at both sides. So on the upper part, I did 0.25 at both sides. Down part, I did 1 inch. Then I just have to draw a straight line, connect it together. So then we're gonna go put our circumferences. So my upper chest, remember my upper chest is 40 divided by 2 is 10. So I'm placing 10 here, and then I'm measuring this dart, and 2.5 to 0.25 plus 0.25 is 0.5. Then add them back 2 inches for the sewing allowance. The same thing at the waist. My waist is 38 divided by 4 is 9.5. Placing my 9.5, I'll just mark it. Then I'll mark it, then go back, measure my darts. My darts here is 2, that is half 1 inch. I'll add it back, then add back my 2 inch worth sewing allowance. So that is basically what I did. Then I'm gonna join it together. So here we're going to create our armhole curve. So we have to ensure that the same thing we did in the front, that is what we're going to do at the back. So I came down by 1 inch. Then also the back, depending on the curve you want to give the back, that is what you are going to give it. So I also came down by the center and also came down by 1 inch, because the back has to be a bit lower than the front part. So I now drew a straight line. across it. So I'm marking it right now, my chest line. But this one right here is going to be the new chest line, because that is, if I cut it, that is what I'm going to have. So here is also my zip allowance. My zip allowance, I added 1.5 zip allowance. 1.5 my zip allowance. So this is my new armhole. Yes. So I'm going to curve it. And as you're covering it, just ensure that after cutting it out, that when you place it together, that you're still going to get the same thing. So this is me right now. I'm going to fold in this dart so as to measure it, to be sure that I don't have any shortage. So this is me folding it back, and then I'm going to place my tape on top of it to check and to know if I'm going to get 9.5 inches. So you see, I got 9.5 inches, and then the other remaining part is my 2 inches for my sewing allowance. So after which I'm gonna cut everything out. This is me marking out those 2-inch allowance I gave. I did not do anything. We already done this before. So this is me just marking out those 2 inches I gave, just for me to know and not to forget it when I'm cutting it on my fabric. Also, remember for the zip, we're going to eliminate any zip budge. So I'm going to just go in by 1 inch, because my zip allowance is 2 inches. So I'm going in by 1 inch and just connecting like this. Remember, this dress has upper part and lower part. And then for the dart, I'm just going to cut it off. I don't want to add that when sewing it. So I'm just going to cover it and use tape and hold it together. Yes. So I don't want to have that dart at the back. I don't want to sew it. So this is what you do when you don't want to sew up the dart. So I'm just going to cover it up. So right now I'm bringing in my front pattern and placing it together. So for you to see that I got the same thing. Everything is the same length. Everything is the same length. That is it. Remember, the front pattern will be kind of longer than the back part because of the back neckline, because we came down by 1 inch. So that is basically how this one is going to be. This is the side front, and then we are placing it together to be sure that that armhole is the same thing. So if you look at it, you see that they are both the same thing. One is no longer than the other one. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to level my pattern. This is for me to know the accurate one, for me not to make mistakes. Then when placing it on your fabric, please make sure you add 1/2 inch allowance. You can see I'm showing you where to add 1/2 inch allowance. From the upper part, this place, this dots, add your 1/2 inch allowance. Also for this back, add a 1/2 inch allowance on the top only. So that is just it for the upper part of this dress. So we're going to move over to the down part of the dress. So for the down part of the dress, we'll get a new clean pattern paper, and then we draw a straight line, because this dress has upper part and lower part joined together. So we're going to mark this first line is my waist. Then marking it down from the waist to my hip point, which is 9 inches. Then so here I want to mark my full skirt length, dress length. So starting from this 18 inches, because the top stopped at 19 inches, which is 18 inches plus 1 inch allowance, which I'm going to cut off the 1/2 inch. Then from this point, I'm going to draw the full length. So the full length is 34, and plus the full length is 33, and then 1 inch, which is 34. So I'm just going to draw a straight line. So the points you need here is your waist, your hip line, your waistline, your hip line, and your full length. That is basically what you need here. And then you draw a straight line across. Remember to add 1 inch for this seam sewing allowance. So this dress has a tie that stopped at the pocket. So I'm marking my bust span, which is 4.5. Then I'm coming down by 4.5 inch again. Then I'm going out by half inch on both sides. Then I'm going to draw a straight line to connect it together. Then right now I'll start adding my horizontal circumferences. So remember my waist is 9.5. So I'm gonna mark 9.5. Then after marking 9.5, I'll mark my darts. If I measure my darts, what I have there is 1 inch because I took half inch. Then I'll add back my 2 inch join allowance, just like I added at the upper part of this dress. Then also coming down to my hip is 45.5 divided by 4 is 11.3. So I'm gonna mark 11.3 right now. So after marking 11.3, then because you see that this dress has exaggerated hips, so we're gonna add 4 inches, extra 4 inches to it, and then we add back our 2 inch joining allowance. Then this same measurement, we're gonna place it down to the full length. It's the exact thing. So what I did is just to calculate what I have there, and I place it down on my full length. So this is basically what you're gonna do. So after placing it on your full length, right now we're gonna add extra extra 3 inches to the full length because it has an exaggerated waist. So we want to make sure that everything comes out well. So we'll be adding extra 3 inches. Then we're going to connect everything together. So I'm going to use my hip cuff to connect it together. So when you get to this point, we're going to give it a slant kind of bend. So I'm going up by 1.5 inches. I'm going up 1.5 inches from the full length, and then I'm just going to curve it in. So this is what you're going to do. You also trace the same thing on the joining hemming allowance for the bottom. So that is basically what I'm doing now, and I'm going to connect it together. And after connecting it together, we can now start cutting it out. So to ensure that everything is correct, I took out my blouse upper part and I'm placing it to be sure that the waist is correct. So you can see that they are aligned. When you close up this dart and you place your front pattern on it, you see that everything is aligned. So even when you mark it, you still see that I'm getting 9.5 inches. So when you close your darts, try to measure it. You should get the same thing. So this is me placing my upper part to this down part to be sure that everything corresponds, and you see that everything corresponds. So this is the way you can do it to get the exact thing. After which I start cutting the skirts. So for the back piece, I'm gonna get a clean pattern paper, draw a straight line, and the straight line serves as our waist. Yes, it serves our waist, and then we're gonna trace out those points again for the back pattern. So I'm gonna start by tracing the hip point, but also before we go there, I'm gonna mark out our zip allowance. So this is me trying to mark out for just going to draw a straight line before marking out my zip allowance for this down part. Because just like the way we will mark zip allowance for the upper part, we're going to mark zip allowance for this down part. Also, before we can do that, we also want to mark out our full length of this dress, just like the way we did for the back, for the front piece. We're also going to mark the full length for this outfit. Also adding your allowance, 1 inch allowance. So this is basically what I'm marking. And then also from this point, I'm also from the waist, I'm going to draw out my hip point. My hip point is always 9. So after that, I'm going to draw a straight line across those points. So I forgot to show the clip for the back zip allowance. So this is that straight line. I drew a straight line and I added 2 inches for the zip allowance, 2 inches for the zip allowance. Please take notes. So like we'll start adding our horizontal measurements. My waist, just like the way we did for the front of the skirt, the only difference is that this one has zip allowance. So my waist is 9.5 and then 9.5. I'm gonna add 2 inches allowance, and also this one does not, this back pattern does not have that. We do not put that to it. So my hips, it's 11.3, then I'm marking 11.3, and then I'm gonna add 4 inches, extra 4 inches, and then I'm gonna add back my 2 inches sewing allowance. Then this same measurement I have on the hips, I will just measure it and now take it and place back on the full length. That is exactly what you're gonna do. Just place it back on the full length. And then when you come to the edge of the full length, you're going to add extra 3 inches. So this is exactly what you did in the front. That is what you're going to do at the back. Just add your extra 3 inches and then you connect everything together. And just like the way we have for the back, we have that slant side. So we're going to come up by 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch, and then we're going to create that slant curve. This is exactly what we did in the front, so that is what we're going to repeat at the back, and also do the same for the seam allowance you added, and then connect everything together. So the only difference here is that the front has that and does not have zip allowance, but the back does not have that, but it has what? Zip allowance. So right now, cut out our pattern paper. So for me, I always want to cross check to make sure that my measurements are correct. So I'm gonna fold in this that in front and then place the back pattern paper so you see the corresponded. So the only thing is that the front has that, does not have zip allowance, but the back does not have that, but it has zip allowance. So you see the thing, this both of them are the same thing. So once you finish, just cross-check it, place back your pattern paper together to be sure that everything aligns together. So this is how the dress is going to look like. So this is me placing it for you to see how the full length is. The front, this is the front pattern, which is the top is 2-piece with the skirt, and then I'm gonna place the back pattern. So you see me, I am folding together and putting it to be sure that everything aligns together. So this is basically what you're gonna do. So to avoid this video being too long, we're gonna have the part 2, which is the cutting and the sewing pattern. So if you've enjoyed this video so far, please do well to like and share and also ask me questions, and bye.